Hi, Catherine Kyle here from greenthickies.com, and today I want to tell you about my experiences with hypnotherapy. And I don't know whether you can see in the background, but this lamp here is a Himalayan pink salt lamp and I absolutely love it. And I don't know whether you saw the blog post that I wrote recently about the benefits of pink Himalayan salt, but I have been going crazy with pink Himalayan salt and I've been using it in all my cooking, but also I have recently bought this lamp and I absolutely love it because not only does it look beautiful, it looks beautiful turned off and turned on, but the benefits are amazing. And I don't know whether you've heard of these like salt chambers that people can go into, and it clears them of their like breathing problems and allergies and stuff like that. And just in the last few days that we've had it on, my husband, who has been suffering awfully with hay fever and kind of breathing trouble as a result, has said that his breathing problems have come, really cleared up. So I think hopefully that's working, and I just think it's so pretty. So and I also have this thing, and you might be able to see this this mist. This is my diffuser, and I absolutely love that as well because I've got my essential oils in there, and this is like my lovely little chill out haven over here that I just love it. And I put whatever essential oils in there that enhance what I want to feel for the day. So at the moment I have got peppermint and eucalyptus, I think, in there, which gives me energy and helps to clear the air and detox. So that's that. I just thought I'd show you what was behind me before I tell you about hypnotherapy. So hypnotherapy, now I don't know whether you saw my last video, which was all about how I have now healed from chronic fatigue syndrome. Yay! So I am back to normal, back to feeling amazing again, which is, I'm so happy and so grateful, so happy to be alive. My, positivity is through the roof, mostly. But what happened, I want to tell you all about my experiences with hypnotherapy now, and that was the trigger that kind of pushed me over the edge to recovery with the chronic fatigue syndrome. In my last video I told you about how I was healed and how I'd been doing kind of things for my physical and mental health, and I was noticing a very small improvement every day, but I was getting so frustrated and I was just like, I just want to be healed now. And I was pointed in the direction of this guy who offered a money back guarantee for healing of chronic fatigue. So I thought, why not? What have I got to lose? I've got absolutely nothing to lose. And I started the day. We had a session over Skype. He does Skype sessions, and it was a bit of intrigue. I didn't really know exactly what to expect, but when he started the session, I thought, yes, I recognise this now. I've seen this used before, although I've never actually had a session where it's been used on me before. So it was all new to me, which is great. Really exciting stuff. And basically what he did was the techniques he used was, it's kind of like muscle testing or kinesiology. I don't know whether you've heard of that before, but basically it's a way that your subconscious mind can communicate with your body to give signals and let you know what your subconscious mind needs and what it wants and what has affected it. It lets it talk, because we're kind of stuck in our conscious minds a lot of the time. We're stuck in the kind of monkey brain of, I'm hungry, I need something to eat, I'm tired, I need to go to bed, I need to have, what was that conversation I had yesterday? And it's all this kind of surface level stuff that we don't really get behind the scenes, and there's like a whole new computer back there that's programming our whole lives. And whenever you get kind of scared about something, or you get stuck in a rut, or you think, why on earth do I always behave like this? I'm so sick of myself. I always set myself up for failure, and then when it's here, I've ruined it. And these kind of things, you think, why on earth do I keep doing this? It's because the subconscious mind has been programmed, and it does try to protect us in a way, but it gets programmed in the wrong way, and it doesn't actually set us free and let us live the lives that we want to live. So I'd had this subconscious mind programming. I'd been programmed in a certain way, and basically my programming was around my kids, and I had this subconscious mind programming that was so deep that I wasn't even aware of it until this happened, until this hypnotherapy happened. But basically, my subconscious mind was telling me that having children, looking after children, kind of any contact with children, basically being responsible for children, was exhausting, and it was so tiring that I would be unable to cope with the children. And this, I won't go into the reasons why I had this programming, but basically that was what my programming was. And this hypnotherapy session helped me to realise why I had this, not only that I had this programming around children, but that why I had it, and that I actually was able to release it, which was amazing. And so what happened was, in the session, it went through this muscle testing and this kind of communication with my subconscious mind that basically asked the subconscious mind whether it was ready to whether it was willing to let me heal from the chronic fatigue, and it said yes. And then it actually said, yes, you are now healed from the chronic fatigue. And I was, as you might be the first time you've done this, I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't really know what to expect, whether or not I had been healed. And I just kind of I continued the day, and it was usually with chronic fatigue, I started the day a little bit better, and gradually went downhill very, very quickly, to the point where, in the late afternoon I wouldn't be able to function at all, and after my dinner I'd have to go straight to bed because I was absolutely exhausted. And I'd kind of lay in my bed. A lot of the time I wasn't even sleeping, but I was just kind of lying there because I just didn't have the energy to get up out of bed or do anything at all, not even like watch a movie or anything. So I was kind of waiting for my energy levels to plummet, and they didn't. They actually rose, and I thought, I'm just going to put this to the test. I'm not going to go crazy and go for a run or anything, but I'm going to do some normal things that I would have liked to do. So I went for a short walk. I did, potted around the kitchen, tidied the kitchen, because there's so much decluttering in my house that I wanted to do while I was sick and I couldn't do. So decluttered a bit and made dinner, picked up the kids, which I hadn't done for such a long time, and did all these normal things. And by the end of the day, I felt better. I felt better than I'd felt in such a long time. It was amazing. And that night, actually, I felt so good. I was so kind of full of this energy that I couldn't sleep. And then because I couldn't sleep, the next day I was a bit kind of I was thinking, why didn't I sleep, and what is it? And the next day I had a full day of looking after my kids, and I was thinking, I just don't know whether I can cope with this. And all these kind of negative thoughts were coming into my mind. And I learned this technique. The hypnotherapist taught me a technique to ask my subconscious mind for the reason why. And I asked the subconscious mind, and I found out the reason why. And it was about my children, and I had this belief that I couldn't cope with children, basically. And now when I look back over my chronic fatigue, and the first time I had it, I burned out while I was teaching. I used to be a teacher. I was a teacher for 6 years, and I burned out from that and got chronic fatigue. And I used to be very, very energetic before I did that, and then I completely burned out. Second time I had it, I was a foster carer. We fostered teenagers, and as you can imagine, that was really full on. That's like a 24/7 crazy, exhausting, emotionally and physically exhausting, demanding job. That was just, I think, the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. We did that for a year, burned out through that, had chronic fatigue the second time, and then the third time was when I had my own kids. And so I'm thinking, these are all times where I have been responsible for children, looking after them, being responsible for them in one place or another. And I suddenly realised this is what it's due to. And it was so freeing in my mind to finally find the reason for the chronic fatigue, because it was so frustrating, like especially because I consider myself quite a healthy person. You know, I eat a healthy diet, I do, you know, healthy routines, I make sure I look after myself most of the time. I'm not perfect. and I was just thinking, why do I keep getting this debilitating condition? It's just driving me crazy. I need to get to the bottom of it, and I finally have, which is amazing. So yeah, so what happened was, after that week, I had one good week where I felt amazing for that week, and I was so grateful, I was so thankful that I felt back to normal again. And then the week after that, I started having health problems again, and it was different though. It didn't feel quite the same. Like, it didn't feel like my chronic fatigue had come back, but I felt really weird. Like, I felt like I had drunk a million cups of coffee, and I was kind of shaking and jittering, and I felt anxious, and I felt wired, and I just did not feel right at all. And I kind of came to the conclusion, like maybe on the first day that I felt like this, it was maybe my supplements that I was taking. Like, I was taking some biocompatible hormones to try and raise my energy levels up, and I suddenly thought, when I was healed of chronic fatigue, at that point I probably didn't need these hormones anymore, and I kept taking them for a week, and then I think I got to the point where I was taking too much. So I stopped taking them immediately as soon as I realised that, but I still had a week of feeling like this, even though I stopped taking them. And I was Googling things, as you do, and finding all the horror stories of people who had, you know, taken hormones, and years later they were still feeling the negative side effects of taking too many hormones. So I thought, oh no, I don't want to get stuck in this negativity again. I'm not gonna feel their fear. I am going to recover from this. Not sure exactly how yet, but I will recover. So I started going out again. I was doing all my normal kind of things. I went to a business mastermind group where we get to, you know, chat business and help each other with businesses and encourage each other and stuff. And it's quite like a, you know, fun kind of social gathering as well. And met this guy called Lester, who also happened to be a hypnotherapist, and we were chatting, and he said he was, you know, I was telling him about my previous experience with the hypnotherapist, and how now I was kind of stuck in this new health problem state and didn't know exactly how to get out of that. So he offered to give me a hypnotherapy session, so I agreed. And so I went with for the session with him, and he used some similar techniques as the previous hypnotherapist, but the previous hypnotherapist had there was something that, you know, when you're using kind of muscle testing, I can get one type of muscle testing to work, but I can't get other types of muscle testing to work, or sometimes, you know, my body just didn't seem to be cooperating at all, and we were unable to proceed with the session. And the second hypnotherapist I went to see, Lester, he used different techniques, and he managed to be like a kind of proxy, if you will, for my subconscious mind, so that the muscle testing was through his body rather than my body, so he could very quickly kind of tap into my subconscious mind and find out what was going on there, even though my body was not showing any physical signs, which I thought was quite interesting. So that was a great technique he used, and he used all these other techniques. It wasn't just hypnotherapy, but it was like you know, a variety of different stuff to and I'll put some of the techniques in the blog post that's linked to this video, and I'll also link to both of these hypnotherapists so you can contact them, and they both do Skype sessions, so you can use them for your own sessions as well. And I used a variety of different techniques, which were all so fascinating, and there was some techniques actually made me laugh out loud. Like, he basically there was one technique where he gets you to think about the kind of negative traumatic events in your life, just a few of them that have, you know, weighing on your mind, and he kind of reprograms them in your mind to make them actually funny. And there's this really funny technique that he used, and basically this horrible scene that I had from my teenage years, basically a fight that I got into that I didn't start when I was in high school. He turned that in my mind from, you know, horrific kind of scene to a really funny scene with music playing and Muppets, and everything was soft and funny and everyone was talking in Muppet voices, and it was just hilarious. And I no longer see these events as negative anymore. They have been completely reprogrammed in my mind, which is amazing. And we did work with to do with my new health problems and my insomnia and things like that, and managed to clear a whole load of stuff in the session. And he tries to work on as many health problems as he can, because I was so curious, like, now that I had cleared the chronic fatigue syndrome, I thought, well, what about this, and what about this, and what about the insomnia and this? And he managed to clear a whole load of stuff in the one session by using a variety of really funny, entertaining, interesting, different tools, which it was just really, really good, positive experience, and I really enjoyed every second of it. And yeah, so that was my two experiences with hypnotherapy. So I have really enjoyed hypnotherapy. I absolutely love it, and if I could do hypnotherapy every single week, I absolutely would. And maybe it's something I will do in the future, you know, maybe I will continue to do it, because I just really love it. And it just doesn't feel like hard work at all. Like somebody else does the work for you, and your subconscious mind just says, okay, then let's clear all this stuff. It is just pretty amazing. So yeah, that's my experience with hypnotherapy, and I would love it if you would share this video, because that will help other people who might also get positive experiences with hypnotherapy. I would love it if you could share it, like it, leave me a comment, let me know your experiences. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I create videos like this every week, and you will get to see all of the new therapies that I try, all of my new kind of experiments with healthy eating, healthy living, healthy mind, all this kind of stuff I'm bringing to you. So thanks so much for watching, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.